Welcome, my students. Today, a video class is on sexual reproduction in bacterium. So, bacterium, it is a primitive organism. So, sexual reproduction generally mean that union of the gametes and fertilization takes place and zygote is formed. So in sexual reproduction, genetic recombination takes place. New kind of genes are formed in the sexual reproduction. So generally we think that in sexual reproduction, there is a formation of gametangia, formation of gametes, and there is a union of the two gametes. But whereas in the case of sexual reproduction in bacterium, there is no occurrence of such things in the bacterium. The main aim of the sexual reproduction is genetic recombination. So without taking that whole process, only genetic recombination takes place in the reproduction of the bacterium. There is no formation of gametangia, no formation of the gametes, no union of the gametes, no formation of the zygote, no development of the zygote. So these all processes are not included in the reproduction of the bacterium. But only the genetic recombination takes place in the reproduction of the bacterium. So that it is called asexual reproduction. Though there is no all other process, generally what we learn in the sexual reproduction of any other organism. Due to the only the genetic recombination, due to the only the formation of the new genes in the reproduction, it is called sexual reproduction. In all other organisms where the general sexual reproduction taking place, there finally genetic recombination takes place. So here also, though there is no other all processes that what just now I discussed, only the genetic recombination is there, so that it is called sexual reproduction. So now let us discuss about the sexual reproduction in bacterium. In the case of the bacterium, in sexual reproduction, it takes place in three methods. One is transformation, another one is conjugation, and the third one is transduction. So let us discuss each one. So now let us go to the transformation. So what is transformation? Here the genetic material from one bacterium enter into the another bacterium through medium is known as transformation. So here medium means from surroundings. It takes the genetic material from the surroundings of the bacterium. It is called transformation. It was discovered by Frederick Griffith in Diplococcus pneumoniae. It causes pneumonia disease. In pneumonia causing Diplococcus pneumoniae, there are two varieties, two strains. They are virulent and avirulent. So virulent causes pneumonia, whereas avirulent is not harmful to the human beings. Virulent is harmful because there is a capsule. If you take the structure of the bacterium of virulent Diplococcus pneumoniae, around the cell wall capsule structure is there. This capsule protects the bacterium from harmful substances, from the antibodies of the host. So whenever there is a capsule in the bacterium, it is protected by this, then it can survive in any harmful conditions. Whereas in the case of avirulent bacterium, there is no capsule, so it can be killed by any harmful substances produced by the host or by the antibodies. So virulent bacterium only cause this disease, that is pneumonia, and avirulent bacterium, it does not cause the disease since it is not having the capsule, which is the protection layer to the bacteria. So this Frederick Griffith, he did the experiment in the rats. See, first he has taken the virulent bacterium. He has taken the virulent bacterium. He injected into the rat, in the healthy rat. It is dead because it causes the disease, so that it is dead. And next he injected the avirulent bacterium. So when he injected avirulent bacterium, now it is okay. No effect on the rat, because this bacterium doesn't cause disease, because it is not having the protection layer called the capsule. So there is no effect on the rat. And next he injected the heat killed virulent bacterium into the healthy rat. Then also there is no effect on the rat. It is living. Because when it is killed by heat, then the capsule is being destroyed. The virulent bacterium is having the capsule, so that only it is protected by any other substances, any other harmful substances, so that it is causing the disease. So when it is killed by the heat, the capsule which is present around the cell wall is being destroyed. So it is now equal to the avirulent bacterium. So when it is injected into the healthy rat, then it doesn't have any effect on the rat. So it is healthy only, no effect on the rat. So it is living. So after this Griffith, he injected avirulent bacterium plus heat killed virulent bacterium. When he injected avirulent bacterium, the rat is living. When he injected heat killed virulent bacterium, the rat is living. So when he injected both these bacteria at the time, what we can feel? The rat should be live, but it is dead. So he surprised. Why it is happening like this? Because when separately a virulent and heat killed virulent bacteria are injected, then the rats are living, no effect. But when these two are combinedly injected into the rat, then it is dead. Then he examined the blood of this dead rat and he found the virulent bacteria in the blood of this dead rat. So by this he observed that here from the virulent heat killed virulent bacterium, the genetic material is passed to the a virulent. See, so that the capsule is produced, in the avirulent and it has changed into the virulent. We know that for every character, one gene is responsible. Here, the virulent in the bacterium, capsule is there means there is one gene which is responsible for the production of the capsule in the virulent bacterium. In the avirulent bacterium, there is absence of that gene, so that here the capsule is not produced, so it is not causing the disease. So when he observed the blood of this dead rat, he found here virulent bacteria. So he observed that, he found that in the heat killed virulent, there is a gene for the production of the capsule. In the avirulent, there is no gene for the production of the capsule. So the gene from this heat killed virulent bacteria might have transferred into this, so that here, due to transfer of that gene, here the avirulent is changed into the virulent, and so that the pneumonia took place and the rat is dead. So this is, so transfer of genetic material from this virulent, heat killed virulent to avirulent, so that avirulent, in the avirulent, new genes are added. The gene which is responsible for the capsule is transferred from the other bacterium into this avirulent. So new gene is added. It means genetic recombination took place. So it is the sexual reproduction. So this process, it can be explained by taking the one diagrammatic explanation. See, this is the avirulent bacterium. This is avirulent bacterium, and these are DNA fragments of the heat killed virulent bacterium. So this bacterium is absorbing these DNA fragments of virulent bacterium. So see in this figure, this is the DNA fragment of the virulent bacterium, and this is the chromosome or nuclead of the avirulent bacterium. So now here this fragment is incorporated into this, so genetic recombination took place. In some cases, here incorporation of this new genetic material into this chromosome doesn't take place. At that point, here degradation of that DNA fragments is taking place. So here it is not the successful transformation. So here new gene has not entered into the chromosome or nucleide. Nucleide means the nucleus of the bacterium is called nucleide. So here it is circular DNA, naked DNA. So this is the transformation. So here you can observe that this is the already present genes, that is DNA. This is the new DNA. It means new genes have entered. That is the genetic recombination. So the main aim of the sexual reproduction is genetic recombination. That is taking place in this method. So it is a sexual reproduction, and this kind of method is transformation. So transformation means transfer of the genetic material from surroundings into the bacterium is known as transformation. So here from one bacterium into another bacterium is taking place through surroundings, that is the medium. So it is called the transformation. Now let us discuss the next one. Conjugation. Transfer of genetic material from one bacterium to another bacterium through conjugation tube is known as conjugation. So in the transformation, the genetic material is transferring from surroundings. So that is taking place from another bacterium into another, this new bacterium through this surroundings, that is the medium. Whereas in the case of conjugation, it is taking place one tube, there is a connection between the two bacteria, that is conjugation tube. So through that bacterium, the genetic material is passing into the another bacterium. It was discovered by Lederberg and Tatum in Escherichia coli. In Escherichia coli, two strains are there. One is F plus and F minus. F plus means the bacteria which are having the fertility factor are called F plus, and the bacteria which are lacking that factor are called F minus. Sorry, it should be F minus. It is written wrong. It is the F minus. So this F factor is present in the plasmid. What is plasmid? The nuclear region of the bacterium is called nucleide. There is a DNA. Here no chromosome. It means DNA is not surrounded by the histone proteins. When DNA is surrounded by histone proteins, it is chromosome. So it is not surrounded by the histone proteins. So it is a naked DNA. So here only DNA is present. So we don't call it as a chromosome. So here in the nucleus region, DNA is there. That is nucleide. In addition to the nucleide region, there is another DNA. That DNA is called plasmid. So extranuclear DNA is called plasmid. In that plasmid, F factor is there. When F factor is there in the plasmid, it is called F plus bacterium. When F factor is not there in the plasmid, then it is called the F minus bacterium. So generally the F factor is present in the plasmid, but some bacteria have this F factor in the nucleide region. They are called HFR bacterium. So high frequency recombinant bacterium. HFR means high frequency recombinant bacterium. It means whenever F factor is there in the nuclear region, then there is a more number of recombinations takes place. So high frequency recombinant bacterium. So the recombination frequency is more when F factor is present in the nucleus region than in the plasmid region. So now let us discuss the process of this conjugation. So this is the F plus bacterium. This is the F minus bacterium. So this is the here, this is the nucleus region. This is the plasmid region. This is the sex pili. The sex pili is present in F plus bacterium. It is not present in the F minus bacterium. Generally, F plus bacterium is called male bacterium. F minus is called female bacterium. So due to presence of F factor, it is producing the sex pili. So due to lack of this F factor or plasmid, it is not producing the sex pili. So this F plus bacterium, it attaches with the F minus bacterium with the help of the sex pili. This is called conjugation tube. Here the attachment of these two bacteria is called conjugation, and this tube is called conjugation tube. See the next diagram. Here in the plasmids, the DNA is replicating at the point of this F factor. So this F factor possessing DNA is transferring into the F minus bacterium. See in the next figure, it has transferred into the F minus. So here this plasmid is formed due to transfer of this replicated DNA. So this F factor, this black spot shows the F factor. So this F factor with the plasmid DNA entered into the F minus bacterium. So here plasmid is formed. So now it has changed into the F plus. So F factor is also there in this bacterium. So now we can call it as F plus bacterium. Later they are getting separated. See, now this F minus bacterium is changed into the F plus bacterium. It is also having the sexually, since it is also possessing the F factor in the plasmid region. So this is the conjugation. So in the conjugation, also see in the F minus, here new genes are added. So plasmid is entered. So new genes are formed. Whereas these genes are not there in the F minus, earlier F minus bacterium. Now it has entered into the F minus one. So now new genes are added, that is genetic recombination, so that new character has developed due to presence of F factor, that is the sexually. So this is the conjugation. Now let us discuss the third method of process, that is the transduction. So transduction means transfer of genetic material from one bacterium to another bacterium through bacteriophage is known as transduction. Let us recall the earlier two sexual reproduction methods. In the first transformation, genetic material has transferred from one bacterium to another bacterium through medium, through surroundings. Whereas in the case of second one, genetic material has transferred through the conjugation tube. So here genetic material transfer is taking place with the help of bacteriophage. Bacteriophage means the virus which grows on the bacterium is known as bacteriophage. So with the help of bacteriophage, the genetic material is transferring from one bacterium to another bacterium. It was discovered by Ginder and Lederberg in Salmonella typhimurium. Salmonella typhimurium. So here T and H should not be there. So it is discovered by Ginder and Lederberg in Salmonella typhimurium. So this transduction process takes place in the virus lytic cycle and lysogenic life cycle of virus. So bacteriophage is a virus. In the virus, the reproduction takes place in two methods. One lytic method, another one is lysogenic method. So in these two methods, transduction is taking place. So now let us discuss how this transduction takes place. See, here it is the bacteriophage, means virus. Virus is absorbing this bacterium. It is attaching to this bacterium. The virus DNA is entered into the bacterium. So this is the virus DNA. This is the bacterium DNA. After entry of this virus DNA, now denaturation of this bacterium DNA takes place. Fragmentation of bacterium DNA takes place. So the virus The virus, whenever it is present outside the host, it is non-living. It doesn't make any living character. It is just like this one granule whenever it is present outside the host, just like the sand granule. But whenever it enters into a host, it takes control of the host metabolic activities. So according to the order of the virus DNA, now the host metabolic activities all takes place. Before the entry of the virus DNA, the all metabolic activities of the host are taking place by the DNA of itself. But after the entry of the virus DNA, now all the metabolic activities of the bacterium takes place by the order of the virus DNA. So after entry of the virus DNA, now it is denaturing this DNA of the bacterium. So denaturation is taking place. So fragmentation took place here. Now this virus DNA, here, now it orders this bacterium DNA to produce its DNA, and this if you take the virus structure, it is the head region and it is the tail region, it is the head region. So it is the capsid region. So here this whole thing is called capsid. It is a protein structure. Inside this protein structure, DNA is present. So in the virus, only proteinaceous capsid and DNA is present. Only two things are there in the case of virus. So now here this virus DNA is ordering the bacterium DNA to produce the virus DNA molecules and virus proteins. See these dots, all these dots shows the virus proteins. So after entry of the virus DNA, now it is ordering this bacterium DNA to produce its proteins, its capsid proteins and virus DNA. So now all these proteins, they assemble and form this head region and tail region of the capsid, and later each virus DNA enter into this capsid region after attachment of the head and tail. So this is forming with the proteins which are produced by the bacterium DNA. These are the proteins. These are dots are showing the proteins. So with these proteins, here capsid is forming. This empty capsid is forming. The first head region is formed and also tail region is formed. They are separately forming, and later these two combine after the formation of the full capsid, and each virus DNA enter into the capsid. So when the virus DNAs are forming in some virus DNAs, some fragments of the bacterium DNA also enter into the virus DNA. So whenever this new virus DNAs are forming, here in some virus DNA, the bacterium DNA, some part of bacterium DNA is also incorporating in some virus DNAs. See, this virus, according to the order of this virus DNA, this bacterium DNA is producing the virus DNAs. These are virus DNAs. So whenever these new virus DNAs are forming, some fragments of the bacterium DNA enter into the virus DNA. So see, in the newly formed this bacteriophages, some bacteriophages have their own virus DNA only. Some have, in addition to the virus DNA, they also have the bacterium DNA. They also have the bacterium DNA. So here, new kind of bacteriophages are formed. New kind of bacteriophages are formed. So when this bacteriophage, when new kind of bacteriophage, it means it is having the bacterium DNA and virus DNA. So when this new kind of bacteriophage infects the bacterium, then here this bacterium DNA and also virus DNA, this virus DNA with the bacterium DNA enters into this, and now this incorporates into the bacterium DNA. So now here in this new bacterium DNA is there, which is coming from this bacterium. So which is incorporated into the virus DNA. So now it has entered into the new bacterium. So here new genes are added. So this is the actually lytic cycle. Lytic cycle. It means after the formation of the many bacteriophages in the bacterium, then lysis of this bacterium took place, and these bacteriophages come out. See, these bacteriophages come out, and later on these bacteriophages enter into the new bacterium, infect to the new bacterium. So whenever this bacteriophage which is having this bacterium DNA infects, then that DNA fragments enter into the new bacterium DNA. So here genetic recombination takes place. This is the lytic phase. In the case of lysogenic phase, here after the incorporation of this DNA, immediately first bacteriophage infects, and this virus DNA now immediately doesn't enter into the lytic phase. Now it incorporates into this bacterium DNA. So with this virus DNA, now this bacterium, it undergoes binary fission. So many bacteria are formed with the virus DNA. In addition to the bacterium DNA, virus DNA are formed. So later on as well, here this just now I explained, here lytic cycle takes place, and here also just now as explained, here genetic recombination here takes place. So this is the transduction. So in this video lesson, I have discussed about the transformation, conjugation, and transduction, which are the methods of the sexual reproduction of the bacteria. So I feel that you understood well about the sexual reproduction of the bacteria. Okay, best of luck.